I'll have to be honest with you. First thing I'm going to mention right up front is it's free. I like this service when it's free because, you know, you can tie up a lot of money in different services, and from experience I found out that sometimes you can pay a lot of money and you may not be getting that much out of it.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. Today is Tuesday the 4th. We have the markets moving higher here, at least for corn and soybeans. Wheat not so much here. Let's turn over to the grain hedge trading platform and see where we closed off the day. Corn trading up 2.5 cents to $3.79 on the December contract. Soybeans up 7 3/4 cents to $9.43 1/4 on the November contract. And wheat in Chicago here down 5.5 cents to $4.93 1/2 on the September contract, falling below the $5 mark, which seemed to offer up some resistance here in the last couple of days. When you look at FC Stone, keep in mind that they are going to be releasing their 2015 corn and soybean crop estimates at 3:30 Central Standard Time today. That's going to be something to pay close attention to. FC Stone is a respected institution here, and their yield forecast could change some of the perspectives of traders out there. So it is important to pay attention to what they are talking about. There's a lot of talk about yield. There'll be even more talk about yield in the weeks to come. Keep in mind on the 12th, we're going to be having the USDA supply and demand report. People are going to be seeing whether or not the USDA is going to jockey around their yield projections at all for that August report. Also out on Wednesday is Informa's monthly crop estimates, so that's going to be important to pay attention to as well as we kind of focus on yield and production here this week. Let's take a look at the daily soybean chart because I think this is the chart that's most interesting. Yesterday what we saw was really a failure to trend lower here for soybeans, and we ended up seeing very strong price action on the day. Now that strong price action didn't come in the way of strong price gains, but what we saw yesterday was a battle between the bulls and the bears, and really the bulls came out on top. We saw selling action push us through that 931 3/4 low. We trended lower, but really we saw either short covering or people coming in and buying this contract, and we ended up closing back up near the open of the day. So a very strong price action. Today we got confirmation here. We had what was called a bullish engulfing pattern, where you see this the open of today's trade and the close really engulfing the body of yesterday's candle. Now yesterday's candle you'll see was a big long wick showing that we were unable to move lower, and we ended up with the bulls kind of in control near the end. Today we got a little continuation, but before you get too eager to get long this thing, do keep in mind that just overhead we have the 100-day moving average. I wouldn't be surprised if that offers up some more resistance, and I wouldn't be too eager to get long here, especially considering the weather outlook. And especially considering the fact that the 100-day moving average was tested twice last week with really not so great results. So unable to mount above that 100-day moving average. It's been resistance in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some resistance here in the days to come. Let's take a look at corn. You'll notice that corn, we've just been kind of trading in a relatively tight range after a significant sell-off from July 14th. That was the highs of this rally that we've seen. Most of the gains have been erased, and now we're just kind of trading around near, well, in a relatively tight range over the last couple of days. My feeling is that the weather outlook continues to be very positive. For corn, that risk premium that is oftentimes in the market during that critical development time period when the corn crop is silking, we're behind that now. I mean, we're mostly looking at grain filling, and when you look at the weather going forward, you'll notice it's cooler than average throughout the majority of the Midwest, and it's also wetter than average across the majority of the Midwest. That's positive growing conditions, especially during that grain filling time period. And when you look for soybeans, this is not very positive for price action. This is not bullish for soybean price action here, but keep in mind if we start to turn to a drier outlook, drier conditions, that's going to have a bigger impact on soybeans than it will corn, because soybeans right now is still in that pod setting stage. So that's something we want to pay attention to, of course, in the weeks to come. We'll be watching the FC Stone outlook. We'll be watching tomorrow the ethanol production and ethanol stocks. We'll also be looking for the Informa numbers coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a pretty decent day here for news events. Stay tuned. We'll be writing about FC Stone's yield estimates in the tomorrow's morning comments. So thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any questions about what we talked about today, please give the office a call. The number is 877-472-4607. And remember, if you haven't done so already, go ahead, take a free 14-day trial. See what it's like to have live quotes in the palm of your hand on your mobile device, as well as the great platform designed for producers, laid out for producers on your desktop. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you here on Wednesday.